Welcome, everybody. How are you? Awesome. It feels really good, and it's so awesome to see all of you here supporting Common Space on this beautiful night. We're recognizing 9 individuals and groups for their contributions to the LGBTQ plus community. You all know why you're here. We're really excited, and it's going to be a great night. You're going to hear a lot of stories, and hopefully you leave feeling empowered, excited, inspired. David's shaking his head no. But you know what? It's going to be a fun time. We're here among friends. And by the way, I didn't even introduce myself. So in case we're not friends yet, hopefully by the end of the night we will. My name is Christine Rose Brown, and it's my second night. Thank you so much. Second year hosting this amazing event. Thank you so much to Justin and Matt for inviting me back. Apparently I did an okay job last year. But before we get to the awards, we'd like to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors who have provided for us in a big way. Without their generosity, we wouldn't have been able to make this event happen. And as you can see, it's super spectacular, right? They did a great job. So our sponsors, we have 3 gold sponsors: the State Center Community College District. Give it up. The Fresno Clovis Convention and Visitors Bureau. And last but not least, the Fresno County Department of Behavioral Health. We also, give it up. We also have about 20 silver sponsors who have made big contributions as well, and you can find their name listed on the program. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize several elected officials who are in attendance tonight. We are so honored to have Congressman Jim Costa here, Councilman Miguel Arias, Councilwoman Esmeralda Soria, former Mayor Ashley Swearingen, and State Center Community College District Trustees Annalisa Perea and Magdalena Gomez. Yes, so awesome to see you all here. And representing Senator Kamala Harris, James Martinez is also in the house. So good to see you, friend. So Common Space came up with this event last year, this concept to bring to light the amazing contributions so many people have done for our community. And it's a really, really empowering night, as I've said, and we're really excited to have you all here to witness this event, to see all of these recipients pick up their awards. 2 of the people who put this event together are going to take the stage now. I'm going to first introduce Matt Broughton. Matt?
All right, just to say, I just broke the rule. I walked through the projector. So if you do it, it's totally okay at this point, okay, everybody? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Broughton, and I am the Social and Events Director for Common Space, and welcome to the 2nd Annual QueerOut Awards Gala. It's really weird to say that. Justin should be making his way to the stage shortly. But I'm here to talk about and welcome you all to the 2nd Annual. This year, our theme is Stonewall Forever. As many of you know, this year marked the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots that happened. And yes, clap it up, please, clap it up for that. Because if it wasn't for those people, we would not be the people that we are today in this room. Like, you can clap, please clap for that, because those people need to be recognized. Okay. So with that being said, each individual table, and you all may be noticing this right now, each individual table that you are all sitting at is different. From 1959 to 2019, there is a significant person, or there is a significant theme, or there is a significant moment in history that you were sitting at. So please feel free to look at those cards, read that biography, learn about that person, event, or place, and learn more about this LGBT community, not only on a local level, but on a national level as well. For me, and I'm gonna say this too, I know that we're all getting excited, we wanna see some award winners, we wanna hear Justin talk as well. For me, being a gay man, 11 years in this community has taught me a lot. I came out at 14 years old. It was a different time. It was during Prop 8. And to be up here talking in front of community members, there are congressmen, there are congresswomen, there are politicians, there are colleges, there are so many people in this room all coming together for the same purpose, to honor 7 individuals, 1 nonprofit, and 1 business doing something in our local community. And hopefully I can speak for everyone in this room, especially Fresno. We need events like this. You look at big places. Yes, clap for that one too. Thank you, thank you. And I'm not just saying, I'm speaking for everyone in this room. Fresno needs these resources. We need events like this to happen. Because Fresno is one of those communities. You look at the bigger cities, but Fresno, we need this. So to see everyone in this room for a second year in a row doing this and honoring 7 individuals, 1 nonprofit, and 1 business is an amazing thing. Before I throw to a video that kind of shows some different events and things at the tables, I'm going to have Justin come up here and talk about Common Space in the 2.5 years and the things that we have done and just stuff like that. So Justin, come on up and join me up on stage. Justin Kamamoto, everybody, Executive Director of Common Space.
Thank you, everybody, and it's so good to see everyone in a shimmery dress and a shimmery blazer. A little bit jealous, but I kind of had fun with fashion too today. I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming out and joining us for a second year. It's amazing to see what we've accomplished in a year and then to see how much our community has progressed since then, and to see all of you here and to hear the stories that you're going to hear tonight are going to be pretty amazing. I do have to give a shout out to Ariane because she works here at Tornino's Banquets, and if you saw, we changed the date at the last minute because we wanted to make sure that we gave you the best experience possible. And she has been texting with us at like 10 o'clock at night just to make sure that everything is perfect, so yes.
So as I was mentioning earlier, we are going to throw to a video that shows some of the events from 1959 to 2019. Not everything can be on there. We have, us LGBTQ plus folks, we are doing a lot and we have done a lot, so not everything can be included, but please enjoy this presentation, and if we can dim the lights and watch this video, it would be greatly appreciated.
But don't look as I get off the stage,
That's
because
right.
I fell earlier.
Enjoy the video, folks. Thanks for coming.
50 years ago, in a tiny bar called the Stonewall Inn, LGBTQ people fought back against years of oppression. Today, the legacy of the Stonewall riots lives on around the world, in every Pride March and in every member of the LGBTQ community. This monument lives so we all can explore this crucial history and add our own piece to the ever-growing story.
But there is no law that says 2 human beings cannot love one another.
As the challenger climbed today, it carried an American woman astronaut, Sally Ride, into space and into history.
You want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading.
Susan, I'm gay.
I'm marrying a woman. I'm gay.
Gay couples deserve the same legal rights as every other couple in this country.
The St. Louis Rams select Michael Sands, defensive end, Missouri.
Today's ruling from the Supreme Court affirms what millions across this country already know to be true in our hearts. Our love is equal.
And once again, we witness history unfold. The Emmy goes to Billy Porter.
All right, friends, I know that this is what you've been waiting for, and we're really excited to hand out our first award of the night, and it is for our Queer Hero of the Year. This award recognizes and acknowledges an individual who displays courage and noble qualities. The recipient is actively involved in the LGBTQ plus community, where most people say they have outstanding achievements. This individual also serves as a role model for compassion, service, and is striving to make the world a better place. And to present this year's award, here is Congressman Jim Costa.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are you excited? I'm excited. The second annual QueerOut Awards Gala tonight has the heart and soul of our community gathered. And I have the honor to make a presentation to a special friend, not just for me, but I suspect for all of you who know her. Yes, applause appropriate. And I, by way of passing, I also want to commend and congratulate all those who are receiving awards tonight, so much deserving, for all that you do every day to carry the word forth. 50 years ago, as we saw on the video, a lot has changed, but we still have a long ways to go. You know, in our Constitution it says, in order to form a more perfect union, realizing that that's awful aspirational, but never seemingly obtained. But we have made progress in those last 50 years, and we got a long ways to go. This year, we passed the Equality Act over to the Senate, along with some other meaningful legislation. Yes, you can applaud that. Equal pay for equal work, the minimum wage, increasing nationwide, all things that are important for Americans. And last night, as you are inspiring me here tonight, I got inspired. I was in Des Moines with all of our incredible list of presidential candidates, and what a job they did. I mean, all of them. Mayor Pete, Kamala, I mean, Elizabeth, you go down the list. We've got a strong lineup. And of course, we know what the goal is. We have to win in November, right? This person, Marcia Conant, and I have known each other since we were teenagers. Just a few years ago, right, Marcia? Come on up here. Marcia. Got the fan club here. You look great in that lovely, lovely gown. And she was on the Tulare County Democratic Central Committee, and I was working for a guy named John Krebs who wanted to go to Congress. That takes us back a few years. But I knew there was something special when I met Marcia Conant, because you could see it. It was in her heart, it was in her soul, and it was her passion. And she wanted then, and I don't have to tell any of you here, Tulare County is not the bastion of liberalism. But she was a shining light, and she went on to do so many wonderful things with the incredible work that she's done. And it is fitting and appropriate that at this second annual gala that we provide Marcia Conant with our Queer Hero Award for all that she's done, for always being there throughout 4 decades of political activism. Think about it. In the San Joaquin Valley, not always an easy road to travel. We all know that, right? Right. And that's why this is so important that we award not only Marcia, but all of those, so fitting. So we have certificates for all of those award winners. And let me just share with you one final closing comment. She sits on so many national organizations because Marsh has not only been recognized by us here, but she's been recognized throughout the state and throughout the nation for her passion for the LGBTQ community. And she's never wavered, never wavered. And yes, that deserves an applause. And she's instilled courage in me and other representatives when it always is not easy, when it's not the easy road that all of you have traveled, that Marcia has traveled. I understand for your family, for my family, who some are here tonight, I know from their own personal journey how difficult it has been, but yet we persevere. And tonight, as a family, we gather to celebrate, right? And we celebrate the award tonight for Marcia Conant for all the incredible, good, wonderful things that she's done, not just for this community, but our extended family. Congratulations, Marcia. Well-deserving on a job well done. And she's got a lot more work to do because she's got a lot more passion in her heart. I know that. Let's give it 3 cheers for Marcia Conant. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! We love you! Howard.
Howard.
Come on, Howard. Thank you. There you go. You can say if you want.
I will. Oh, I have a lot to say. Go for it. So, thank you, Congressman Costa. I had no idea you were going to be saying those kind of things, but I'm just touched beyond. But I have to stick to what I've written because it's been driving my family crazy that I've been working on it for so long. So, good evening, queers and allies. Because if you are not one and you are here, then you are the other. So my straight friends were so very excited when I told them that they were allies. It gave them an identity. They had been confused. I think that they were jealous because we had all the cool acronyms. Queer Hero of 2019. I'm not even sure what that means, but thank you. I want to thank my life partner, Marilyn, my daughter, Sarah, who's here tonight. Kaylin is in Boston, so not able to be here. I want to thank all of my dear friends and my family of choice for being with us this evening. I want to thank Common Space, Justin and Matt, for having the vision to create this wonderful event, and I agree, Matt, it needs to continue. This has been a great event. It was a wonderful event that last year. It will be a wonderful event tonight, even though it's been a little bumpy this time. We can handle bumps. We can. I know that the Board of Common Space will breathe a sigh of relief tomorrow and take care of all the lingering issues that are left over after an event like this, and thank you. When you changed the night, I lost 2 friends, but I got 4, so it worked out for me. And it's an honor to receive this award with my friends Robin McGehee and Peter Robertson, my sheroes and heroes. So, Queer Hero. I'm pretty sure when Irene and Kenneth brought home baby Marcia, they never imagined that I would be the queer hero this day. But I can tell you that if they were still with us, they would be at that table rooting us on. And I am fortunate, not all families were like that. And queer is not a word that's always had positive connotations. And I know that it makes some of the people in this room, hi Pat, some of the people in this room uncomfortable. Because it used to be a derogative term that would be used oftentimes in anger and laced with curse words and thrown at us. And many of you in this room, I know, are still not comfortable with that term. But I'm embracing it. I think that as we embrace the words gay and lesbian from homosexual, that was a move up. Y'all don't remember that, but that was a step up to be homosexual and not queer. And then we became gay and lesbian, and it's just kind of an evolution. And it's fine that we take it all in. It's part of the growth of the movement. So one of the concerns among my closest friends was, what was I going to wear? Mitzi wanted me to wear a superhero costume, at minimum a cape. Nancy wanted me to wear a tiara, but I figured there was tiara competition among all the queens here tonight. I should not try to do that. And Joanne wanted to go shopping with me. But I managed to dress myself. And for those of you who have no idea who I am or why I'm receiving this award and are wondering what is her superpower, I'm going to tell you. My superpower is a relentless commitment to equality for women and the LGBT community through political activism. That is my superpower. And I know some of you want nothing to do with politics. You think that both parties are the same and that there are no differences. But they're not. In the last 3.5 years, there have been over 900 attempts to chip away at our rights through policy and legislative changes. And I know some of you may think I vote, that's enough, but it's not. There are less than 0.1% of elected LGBTQ people in this country, less than 0.1%. We have 3 openly LGBTQ elected officials in this county. There are no women on the Fresno County Board of Supervisors. There's 1 woman on the Fresno City Council, and there are no women running for those seats this election cycle. And I think that's shameful. We need to run for office, we need to be elected, and we need to represent our communities. And I'm not suggesting that everyone run out and file for office, because it's hard work, it's expensive. Being the best candidate does not always mean you will be elected, and you need a plan. You may even fail the first time, or maybe even the second time. I say let's find a race that fits, develop a plan, and elect more women and more LGBTQ people to our community. Now, I'm running for Fresno County Democratic Central Committee. That's a good fit for me. But that's it. That's all I'm ever running for, because that's my fit. I had dinner with a friend the other day who I'd not seen for several years. She's straight, she's white, she's Republican, she's a successful businesswoman, and she's about my age. She said to me, I hear you're involved with politics. And kind of gave me that look like, why? You have a good life. You're not discriminated against. What are you complaining about, and why do you care? And she's a friend. I said, Jane, that isn't her name. I'm protecting the innocent. Jane, if I lived in Georgia, I could lose my job for being gay. She said, that's not right. I could be not denied the right to rent an apartment or buy a home. She said, well, that's not right. I could be denied the ability to adopt and create the family that I choose to adopt, that I have, and she loves my family. And so she said, that's not right. And I said, no, it's not right, and that's why I'm involved in politics. As long as any of us can be discriminated against, our work is not done. We're very fortunate in California. In 27 states, LGBTQ people can lose their jobs, be denied housing, be discriminated against in employment, all because of religion. All because of who we love. To say nothing of internationally, where our brothers and sisters can be stoned and killed. And this doesn't even take into consideration the attacks on the trans community. This year, 20 trans women have been murdered in the United States, primarily women of color. And the number grows each month. The AMA has declared these murders to be an epidemic. And this doesn't even take into consideration the other challenges that the trans community has. The lack of housing, health care, employment opportunities. I say give them jobs. Treat the trans community the way we all want to be treated, whether we're trans or not. And it scares me. And I know some of you don't understand the trans community, even members of the LGBT community, because I've heard what you say. There didn't used to be trans people. What the fuck? Of course there were trans people. They just want attention. They're confused. It's trendy. And you don't have to get it. But you do have to make an effort to understand and to support them. You have to show up. Our LGBTQ youth and trans youth are at higher risk of suicide than any other group. 40% of homeless youth identify as LGBTQ, and 60% of them attempt suicide. We must step up, we must engage, and we must have support, and we must support them. They must know that it does get better and that we're here. Our community struggles with a lot of issues. Depression, alcoholism, drug addiction, eating disorders, HIV, and the long-term effect of those things. And we need programs that address those issues and not policymakers that turn a blind eye and want to cut those programs. And being gay is not for the faint at heart, even in 2020, which we are going into. I forgot the year. I'm president of Fresno Stonewall Democrats, the only LGBTQ Democratic club in the county. And some of you may have heard of it, and some of you haven't, and some of you may have heard negative things about it. I had. When I started attending, I thought it was a little creepy. There were some good people, but there were no women, and there was no diversity. But I kept going back and dragging my friends and my allies, and some of them thought it was a little creepy too. But I was elected president, and there are a few wonderful, wonderful people, men and women, who share my goals, and the club is slowly changing. But we need your participation. People tell me that young people don't care about politics and won't get involved because they don't understand what it was like to live in fear. That LGBT Democratic clubs are not relevant. And I'm here to tell you that that's bullshit. Because as long as millions of LGBTQ citizens in this country live and continue to be denied their rights, we are in crisis. When the Supreme Court is currently hearing a bill that would allow employment discrimination based on religion, when a North Carolina legislator introduces a bill to deny us our right to marry, when a state legislator calls Pete Buttigieg Pete Buttplug, we are in crisis. As long as you can get married on Friday, post your video on Saturday, and get fired on Sunday in most of this country, this fight is not over. In fact, we're just getting started. I believe if I can convince my friend Jane that discrimination against the LGBTQ community is wrong and is ongoing, I can persuade others to join me in this fight. And I believe this is a call to arms with voting and political engagement. And I hope that you will join me and that you will all be a hero.
A very deserving award and a very deserving standing ovation for Marcia. Thank you so much for being a superhero for our community. And from one superhero, we're gonna go to a super nonprofit. Our second award is recognizing our outstanding queer nonprofit organization. This award acknowledges the outstanding accomplishments made by an official 501c3 organization in the Central Valley. The recipient is openly accepting of the LGBTQ plus community and has substantially and continuously provided support to the LGBTQ plus community. To present this award is Marinarde Soto.
chore, I'm sorry. I had just taken a bite out of my food, and then I didn't get the chance to drink water, so like I'm kind of dry. So good evening, everybody. My name is Marina de Soto. I use she/her pronouns, and I am so glad to be here and to be giving this award to this amazing organization who I have had the privilege to grow up with. They're just outstanding. When I heard they were receiving the award, I was very happy and very proud, being that I also serve on their board, because this organization has strived to open doors and to authentically love and care for LGBTQ youth in a way that it's from a place of love. It's not something that is forced. It's not something that they have to do because they work there. When students come in there, when youth come in there, they feel the love. When you walk in there, you feel the family atmosphere that this organization provides. And actually, I get really nervous when I talk, especially when there's a lot of people, but I just want to step it back a little bit more, and I want to take a moment of silence to honor the our trans and queer ancestors who have passed away, being that it is Dia de los Muertos, and also honoring our trans sex workers who started Stonewall and who have paved the way for us, for our young folks right now. So we can just take a moment of silence. Thank you. So continuing on, a little background about Fresno Barrios Unidos. We actually just celebrated our 25th anniversary. We have been in the community for 25 years, serving Fresno. Our organization teaches sex ed to all high schools and middle schools in Fresno Unified. And I remember when this first started, we always talked about how can we be inclusive of LGBTQ youth in a way that is intentional, in a way that comes from love. And one thing that our educators do is include pronouns when they introduce themselves to students, because this just opens up the door for people to identify themselves and to open the door for them to be like, okay, I can explore who I am, because I may be questioning, I may not feel safe, but I know that the educators and the people that work at Fresno Barrios Unidos do this for lots of young people, including myself, including some of my youth that I work with. They tell me like, wow, like for the first time when I went there, I didn't feel like I had to make myself small. I didn't feel like I had to put myself in a little box, because I could authentically be myself, and that's what this organization strives for. So if Fresno Barrios Unidos can come up here, please. All of Fresno Barrios Unidos. We want all your beautiful faces up here, please. And accepting the award for Fresno Barrios Unidos is David Budabong. I call him one of my elders, and he doesn't like it. But he is an elder, if you look at us. See?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not a elder. I'm a yelder. So a young elder. I do have some things to say, because this is very important. And then also, someone gave me a cue to cry, and it's Leo. So that might happen. All right. I'm really nervous. I mean, there's a lot of folks out here, we teach sex ed, and that's no big deal, but this is for some reason. Thank you, everyone. My name is David Budavong. I use he, him, his pronouns. I am the program manager for our health education department. Thank you, Marina, for nominating us. I'm really proud of you. From being a 16-year-old program participant to regional GSA person from the Central Valley, you have come a long way, and I'm really, really proud of you. Thank you to Common Space and Justin for creating spaces, to recognize the community. FBU, Fresno Barrios Unidos, has come a long way. We are truly honored to be this year's Queer Organization of the Year. We began in 1994, and this year is our 25th birthday, so we're celebrating all year. You're welcome to join us. Inclusivity is important to the work and the mission of FBU. About 5 years ago, just having multiple roles in the org and doing a lot of statewide work and also local work, realizing that young people really wanted to feel more included, and it was a calling, and we started. It started with one person, me, just using our pronouns in our introductions, our email, our business cards, because it's really important. Like Mari said, it does open the door for a lot of young people, and also with that was we started doing Fresno Rainbow Pride. It was just a couple of us. We had some capes and signs, but now it's kind of a org-wide thing and all hands on deck. And I'm so thankful to the folks at Fresno Rainbow Pride for recognizing our hard work and our intention in building whatever kind of float we build. So thank you so much to Fresno Rainbow Pride. It not only helps us with recognizing our youth, but our friends, our families, our partners, and also to build solidarity with our community. Although we're not considered an LGBTQ plus org, we're committed to being open and inclusive, working with a lot of partners has allowed us to do our work locally. So we have some great partners. I don't know if they're here tonight, but Fresno Unified School District, I think I may have seen some folks. I think so. You're here somewhere. I saw you. There you go. We're able to serve about 12,000 students yearly. And it's also, they allowed us to be inclusive with our language. I don't mean to get too into it, but, we use language like people with vaginas, people with penises, as opposed to the more gendered ones. And, for the most part, all the young people are cool with it. Sometimes the adults are the ones with the, issues with it, but they get it. And with that, our organization, along with Act for Women and Girls, Planned Parenthood, ACLU, in 2015, really rallied together as a Central Valley group to be in the governor's ear. I think it was Governor Brown at the time, to sign the California Healthy Youth Act, which mandates comprehensive sex ed, which is non-biased, medically accurate, and inclusive of everyone. And that became law in January of 2016, so, and we were happy to be a part of that. Some other major players that have supported us through the years in our work with the community is the California Endowment. Some of you may know who they are. I don't know if they're here tonight, but shout out to you. They really allowed our org and myself to be in spaces which traditionally you might not see, a queer loud man in spaces where we are at statewide camps for boys and men of color, and then years down the line, realizing the need for an LGBTQ plus one. I think a couple years ago, we were able to have the first trans and queer retreat at just in our backyard at Wander Valley, and that's a statewide one, which I think Madi has been to, right? Lastly, another important org I'd like to recognize is the National Compadres Network, which does a lot of healing work statewide and also nationally, typically with young men, but they've really allowed folks like myself to be in a space which is predominantly Latino and indigenous men, straight identifying folks. So for them to allow myself to be a part of them and also be on their LGBT plus panel really helps with them growing in inclusivity. So this work and all this doesn't happen alone. There's amazing people behind me. There's actually about 30 of us. We're all not all be able to be here, but these are the beautiful people who I get to call my family and my coworkers who are doing the work with me every day in the trenches. So give it up for these folks. And our executive director, Ashley Rojas, who has been able to give us space to allow us to be who we authentically are, is on her way. And also our management and admin, Abigail, who does amazing things, who's up here, and also Marisa and Jessica, wherever they are. I do want to kind of leave with one more little thing. Every day we get constant reminders. People ask you, why do you do what you do? And one of them is, from a student that I think about often. It's about 2 years ago. I happened to be in a class with some of my team, and we have anonymous questions that they ask or comments. And one kind of stuck with me, and this was from Sunnyside. It was a freshman in 2017. And I'll read it verbatim. It says, if an LGBTQ plus teen is discouraged by their family and friends to not be LGBTQ plus, then persuaded into a heterosexual relationship, to or as an attempt to fix them, is this abuse? If so, what kind of help and how can they seek help? And that's my reminder daily of why we do what we do. It's so important, I often think, wow, what is this young person doing right now? I hope they're okay. I hope they're loved, and I hope they're affirmed. So those are kind of the reminders that let me know, why we do what we do. Marsha kind of touched on this earlier. The LGBTQ struggles and issues are not over. Yes, we have the freedom to marry who we love and who we choose. However, our Black trans sisters are murdered at an astronomical rate. There's a lot of violence happening. Our young men and boys of color are being incarcerated at a astounding rate. Our homeless youth need more resources. Some folks are being trafficked, and our undocumented youth families are being torn apart. And also, we need to reduce the school to prison pipeline. All this to say, this is a call to action, as Marsha said. So take action, fill out that census, get counted, register to vote, and vote. Right? And lastly, I'll wrap it up. So it is our 25th year to continue supporting our organization with your lovely donations. You can do so by texting Barrios, BARRIOS, to 444-999, or visit our website at fresnobarriosunidos.org. Thank you, Mari. Thank you, Common Space. Thank you all. Enjoy your night.
All right, thank you, David, and thank you, Fresno Barrios Unidos, for the work that you've done over the past 25 years. I am definitely going to be a part of those celebrations, so thank you for inviting us. We're going to take a little break from the awards. Just wanted to check in with you guys. How are you doing? Are you feeling inspired? Good. In case you didn't know, we are live streaming this entire award ceremony to the World Wide Web. We're on the internet live right now, thanks to our friends at CMAC. So wherever you are, can you just turn around, wave to the camera? We've got people from around the country, maybe even around the world tuning in. Let's let them know what Fresno's about. Maybe don't flash the camera. Let's keep it G, just in case. Awesome. No fun, right? We gotta keep it clean. So yeah, if you're out there, if you can hear me, thank you for watching. All right, so now on to our next award. We are going to give out an award for the Outstanding Queer Business of the Year. This award recognizes the achievements of a business that's demonstrated friendly and ethical practices along with the advancement, growth, innovation, and sustainability of the LGBTQ plus community. The recipient is a business openly accepting of the LGBTQ plus community and has substantially and continuously provided support to the community. And to present this year's award is Jomar.
Thank you, Christine. My name is Jomar, and Jacqueline could not be here tonight, so I'm here in her place to give David the award. So I'm going to read a speech that she wrote. Okay. As much as it pains me that I couldn't be here with both my salon and Rainbow family tonight, I wanted to thank Jomar for filling in as I found myself compromised by another previous commitment, but moving forward. Gay and fabulous, check. Sincere and supportive, check. Genuine and generous, check. Kind and completely irreplaceable, check. These are just a few of the long list of wonderful ways to describe David Reno Stone. When taking into account what makes a business great, we have to weigh whether the environment is in which we feel safe, celebrated, and at home. Without revealing too much about our beloved Queen's age, David has definitely been a pillar and a warm and humbling face in the gay community for a number of years, and as some of you may already know, he's been the owner of one of Fresno's little gems, which is coincidentally the longest running hair salon in Fresno, La Vogue Beauty Shop, established in 1924. With a staff of whom 90% consist of LGBTQ stylists, I know, shocking. He's built a highly respected and warmly regarded reputation within Fresno, the queer community, and our beauty industry. The last 2+ years, I've had the privilege of working alongside David, and I can't express what an amazingly sweet and authentic role model he is. Not only does he create a safe and welcoming environment for people of all walks of life, he also makes it an effort to support local fundraising events and organizations that have benefited the LGBTQ community, animal rescues, and the arts, as well as other local businesses. David has always been incredibly deserving for all that he does behind the scenes without expecting anything in return, and so I truly hope this provides an opportunity to really acknowledge and make it known we love you and will never be able to thank you enough, David. And I present David Stone.
Uh-oh.
I guess I'll hide her here.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so this is probably going to be short and sweet compared to the others. However, so I've asked some of the salon team up here because I want to show how diverse we are. I also, hold on. We all have felt uncomfortable at one point or another. It is our belief that a salon visit should not be one of them. We pride ourselves on making our clients feel comfortable no matter what their gender, race, age, economic status, or even how they identify. We're proud and humbled that we've been voted Common Space's 2019 Queer Business of the Year. I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my La Vogue family members, these are some of them, because they are a huge reason that La Vogue has been and is so successful. We'd like to thank our ever important clients for their loyalty. I personally would like to say thank you to all of my friends. I also want to thank my family for always accepting and supporting me. I want to say thank you to my partner of 15 years, Glenn Sorensen, for always being there when I need him. I love you. And lastly, but certainly not least, thank you to my mother, Joy Clark. Without her unwavering and total support, none of this would have been possible. I love you, Mom, to the moon and back. Thank you. And P.S., if you don't like the current political environment, go out and frickin' vote. Thank you.
All right, so we really are going to take a break from the awards. Sorry, let's give it up one more time for David and for LaVogue. And also his PS to vote. We're just going to drive that home tonight. We will take a break from the award ceremony to shine a light on one of Common Space's most popular events, Drag Storytime. How many of you have been to Drag Storytime? All right, we're gonna work on that. Well, a local filmmaker named Haley White did a piece on Drag Storytime and is here to explain what inspired her to take on this project. Let's give a warm welcome now to Haley.
Hi, everyone. So for the last 3 years, the Central Valley Community Foundation and the Central Valley Foundation, which are two separate groups I learned, and Bank of America and CMAC, is that everybody, Ashley? Yes. They have worked together to provide 10 local filmmakers $5,000 grants to make mini documentaries about life in the Central Valley. It's a really great event. It happens every October. I encourage you all to come out in the future. This year when I was applying, I thought, who is someone who does great work locally? And Justin Kamamoto came up kind of immediately for me as someone who I think does tireless work to make our community members feel safe, feel accepted, and more importantly, as evidenced tonight, feel celebrated for who they are. That deserves applause, yes, applaud him. He's wonderful. So I was thinking all the many different ways I could celebrate kind of what he brings to the community, and Drag Storytime was one of the things that came up. And my nonprofit, the Fools Collaborative, has helped sponsor an event before. I've been to them. I think they're wonderful at just like the base level of being a free family event for parents who might want to teach their kids these crazy progressive ideas like acceptance and tolerance and individuality and things like that. But also, on a more important level, I think it's really important in that it teaches kids to approach the unknown with playful curiosity, with imagination, with interest, rather than fear. And I think that's something maybe adults could learn from too. So I think it's really great. And then also drag queens on camera, like how can you go wrong? And then you throw kids in the mix, even better. So I made this film for the Big Tell. It features Justin, Leilani Price, and everybody knows how wonderful she is after seeing her today, and a little 11-year-old girl named Scarlett. And I don't know if this is tacky or not, but this is the 5-minute version of the film. If any of you like it and think it's important and have money, I would love to make a longer version. That's it. Enjoy the film.
It auto turns on once you hit the record button, so go ahead and hold that. So now we're recording. There's everybody behind us. Wave everybody else.
Be a little bit careful about brushing if you can.
Does that work? All right. Anything else you need? You got it figured out? All right, awesome.
Hi, I'm Scarlett, and let's talk about drag queens. Hi, I'm here to meet Justin.
Come on in.
Story Queens, Scene 1, marker. What made you want to bring Drag Storytime to Fresno?
So Drag Storytime is an event that happens all across the nation. It kind of teaches people that different is beautiful, and the fact that we're all unique and special people, and we are here really to build a more equitable Fresno for more people to have access to services and different resources.
How do you think Drag Storytime would have helped you when you were a kid?
The that drag culture is so part of the LGBT plus community that it would have been cool to see these different role model figures outside of their normal scene, that they're actively involved in the community, that they volunteer, and that they're really here to foster the next generation of people.
Oh, Justin, Paul's here.
Okay, come on, let's go meet Paul. Scarlett, meet Paul. Scarlett, you two have fun. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, just a little busy, but come in, sit down.
Story Queens, Scene 2. Mark, listen up, folks. This is going to be good. First question. When do I call you Paul versus when should I call you Leilani?
You can call me Paul anytime. You can call me Lay anytime. But when I'm in drag, I prefer Leilani. Because it's weird if you call me Paul and I'm a huge guy in a wig.
What other activism work do you do?
I do a lot of work in the community. I help out a lot with nonprofits. I've actually led the march for the AIDS Day down in Tower. If there's a good cause, I'm normally behind it.
Why, as a drag queen, do you enjoy doing drag story time?
Honestly, because if it shows that queens are versatile. We can work in the bar, we can be a part of the community, we can be a role model. And there's no hidden agenda behind it. You know, we enjoy makeup, we enjoy costuming, we enjoy hair. But for me, it's about expressing yourself through art.
Paula is transformed into Leilani. Let's go see her for the first time.
Well, hi, Scarlett.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
So, what do you
look
think?
amazing.
Thank you. What do you think? Is it a huge transformation?
Yes.
There's Nadia. And Justin already, so don't worry about it. And then that's my friend Maximus.
Hello.
So do you like this dress? Is this cute?
I love it.
Let me give you a twirl. Ready? What do you think?
You flying.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go do this.
Welcome to Storytime. So, who here likes bunnies?
How do you think that drag story time would have affected you if you had it when you were a kid?
I think if we had drag story time when I was growing up, maybe my generation of people would be more accepting. We would teach more acceptance and not this hatred, this lack of knowledge. You encourage people, you motivate them, you educate people as much as you can. If someone's being arrogant or ignorant, don't fight them with hate. Educate them, because when you educate them, it changes everything.
The person that's making fun of you, you don't know what they go through. Deep down inside, they're just as hard as you are. They're just as weird as you are. They're just as different as you are. Honestly, if someone tries to make fun of you, they don't know you. Well, that was the end. Thanks for joining me. What I learned today is reading is really fun. Make sure you do that. And you should make sure that you are nice to people no matter how different they are, and you should accept everybody.
Always remember to be yourself too, definitely.
What a lovely film you made, Haley. Thank you so much for sharing that. And how cute is Scarlett? We need to get her on the stage as a host next year. Justin, can you work that out? So I can have a night out and have fun, like you guys. Before we return to the awards, taking a little break, not a break, so don't get up and go to the bar. Just wanted to remind you all to post on social media, tag us, Common Space Fresno. We're using the hashtag Common Space and also QueerOut Awards. So our next award, our fourth award of the night, is for Outstanding Queer Youth under 18. This recognizes a young person that's under the age of 18, a recipient who's also openly identifying themselves as a member or ally of the LGBTQ plus community, and also has made contributions to their school, club, GSA, church, nonprofit, or otherwise noted service in form of advocacy, awareness, or activism. Our next recipient is going to be introduced by Zane Anthony.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo. What'd everyone think of that awesome video? Drag story time? it's only fitting to announce next the outstanding queer youth after that video that we bring to the community, starting in the youth and making it okay, to be ourselves. So thank you for that drag story time. And for me, I would like to announce the next recipient of our award. He's a very outstanding leader in our community, especially for the youth and all of our young people coming out now. It's very important because when I was first coming out, I didn't have any of these resources and I didn't have these type of events available to me, so I kind of had to figure everything out on my own. If you don't know me, I'm Mr. Trans Fresno 2019. I wore my sash tonight. But I do have the honor, I did have the honor of crowning the very first youth junior Mr. Trans Fresno in 2019. So for my step down this year at Trans Ball through the Imperial Dove Court, if you guys don't know, that's another nonprofit organization through Fresno and other surrounding areas, but our title is held through the Fresno Imperial Dove Court here in Fresno. So at that time, I was able to start a youth title, and this next recipient was the winner, and he is the Mr. Junior Trans Fresno 2019. So let's give it up for that. That's something brand new for our youth. Apart from that, this next recipient has started out pretty young. During high school, he started the very first GSA Alliance for his own high school and stood up for what he believed in, and is just paving the way for every young person as well as people barely coming out. So at the beginning of this year, he was able to tackle the court system and get legal recognition for his gender confirmation. So let's give it up for that. That's a huge accomplishment. That takes a lot of work, beating the court system and just having to get different approvals. So just thank you for sticking up for that and making it possible, showing that it is possible for everyone to follow your footsteps. Apart from that, there was something that is a very huge milestone that a lot of trans people only dream of, which is getting the next step of their transition is top surgery or any surgery that would further confirm their physical identification, because I mean we can only see what people may appear as, or oh yeah, he looks comfortable in his skin now, but we don't actually know what we feel inside. Like if you look at the person next to you, we don't know what we're thinking or what we're feeling. Like that's kind of how we feel inside. When we look in a mirror, sometimes it doesn't match the physical stuff that people can see from the outside, but people can't necessarily see how we're feeling or actually feel how we're feeling. So without further ado, I would just like to congratulate and also honor the next recipient of the Queer Outstanding Youth Under 18, Tobias Philip Stokes. Thank you, Toby.
How's everyone doing? Let me grab my phone. If any of you know me, I'm not really one to grab the spotlight, so my speech is going to be pretty short. But I would like to thank all of you guys for this. But nobody does these nice things thinking that they're going to get something out of it, or they shouldn't. And I didn't do any of those things thinking that I would end up here. But I didn't get here all by myself. They say that it takes a village to raise a child, and that's true. Here I am because of all of you. Years ago, I never would have had the courage to come up here. And everyone here and everyone who's not here has helped me become the person that I am today. I'm so grateful for everyone here, and I couldn't have done it alone. So, yeah.
Keep that round of applause going for Toby, not only for his accomplishments, but for getting on stage and overcoming his fears. Being up here is really nerve-wracking, believe it or not. Believe it or not, it really is. Thank you again, and congratulations, Toby. Our next award is for Outstanding Queer Youth between the ages of 18 and 24. The Outstanding Queer Youth of this age bracket recognizes a young person that goes above and beyond to bring change to their local community. The recipient is someone who openly identifies themselves as a member or ally of the LGBTQ community and has also shown substantial contributions and involvement to a friendly queer LGBT plus school or club organization. And this year's winner is somebody who is very deserving. She is somebody who has demonstrated in numerous ways that she is a proud queer woman that finds great joy in helping other queer members of our community, especially at Fresno State. Let's give it up for Kiana Medina.
Hi, y'all. It's so weird being up here.
Maybe this will make it less weird. That'll make it less weird.
No. So I promised myself I wouldn't cry, so let's all pray that I don't. I'm a very emotional person. So first, a big thank you to my family who is here tonight. I'm very blessed to have my mom, my grandma, my sister here at my table tonight. They have stood by my side through everything and have supported me through all of my crazy endeavors. So I am very thankful that they are here tonight and probably also crying. And also thank you to my partner who is also here at the table and who helped me kind of form this speech to seem, in English. And also a big thank you to my CCGC family, some of you who are represented here tonight. So Dr. Puda, Brenda, Ben, Esteban, and then Dayanita Shamel, who isn't here, as well as the rest of my CCGC family. So most of y'all are probably wondering who I am and why I'm up here. And so my name is Kiana, she, her, hers. I'm the grad coordinator over at the Cross Cultural and Gender Center, and I'm here to talk to you about the Q Clothing Closet. So the Q Clothing Closet provides free clothing, binders, accessories, trans resources, packers to students who are in need, and specifically trans and gender nonconforming students. This project grew from passion, it grew from love, and mostly it grew from need. We've had over 400 visits to our pop-ups, and over 1,000 items have been taken since our first closet pop-up in 2018. About half have been from LGBTQ plus individuals, and including community members as well. You see, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I love talking about theory. Maslow's hierarchy of needs states that we must fulfill our students' basic needs in order for them to succeed academically in life. So this means water, food, but mostly what we like to focus on is clothing. And I think that's the important part of this project. It meets students' basic needs, but it also provides belonging, acceptance. We need to look at our students and say with words and with actions that I hear you, I see you, you are important, you are valued, and you should be here on this campus. And that is how our queer and trans students can succeed. So thank you all for continuing to support us in serving and uplifting our trans and queer students. Thank you all who have paved the way for us on campus, especially here in Fresno, and especially you, Justin Kamimoto, right back there, and all of the wonderful people at Common Space. This work is more than important. It is vital. It is life-saving. So I encourage you all to climb up on the shoulders of these giants and let them lift you up to continue to do this life-saving work. Let's keep Fresno queer, y'all. Thank you.
Proud of you, Kiana. You made it without tears. That's so great. Congratulations again. Our next award is for Contributor to Queer Life through Volunteerism Award, and this award recognizes the individual who is actively volunteering their service to the LGBTQ plus community. This recipient has volunteered in an unpaid capacity in the past year to Central Valley nonprofit organizations. And to present this year's award, here is April Taylor Salary.
Good evening. My name is April Taylor Salary, as she said. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm honored to be here tonight to share with you why I feel Zoyer has earned this award. He has dedicated his time, life, and career to the LGBTQ plus community. He's made it possible for so many of us to do the work in the trans community that we do. Zoyer had dreams to be an English teacher, and as his volunteerism in the community, he saw that he could make a bigger impact if he was a social worker. So as clinicians at Fresno County, we're doing our part to make the change that we can. It is my honor to welcome Zoyer up to get his award. It is through his volunteerism that I'm able to do what I do, and I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you. Hey there. My name is Zoyer Zindel, and my pronouns are he, they, and Z. And the best way you can represent the transgender community is by introducing yours every time you do speak or introduce yourself. So first off, thank you all for coming here, because it's you all, the community, that makes these things possible by attending nice events like this. So why don't you give yourself a round of applause? I just got a couple of things to say. Oh no, it's not my friend today. I just got a couple of things to say, and one is I've been very involved. Okay, since I was 17 years old. I'm 33 now. And I remember I got a message from Robin McGeehee about 3 different things happening in the community. Robin is my hero, and I wish she was here. She sent me a text message for the Pride Parade event, and then another club called Diversity Club, which is now known as the LGBT Spectrum Club. And so I attended both of those, the event and the meeting, and that kind of began my involvement in the community thereafter. I'm involved on the board of PFLAG as the vice president, PFLAG Fresno. I know they're in the house here today. I'm the chair of Trans Emotion, which is a transgender advocacy organization here in Fresno. I'm involved in Fresno Rainbow Pride, handling public relations. That's the annual Pride Parade and Festival every June. I'm part of the Rainbow Alumni through Fresno State as well. And former president of United Student Pride, that's the LGBT student organization out of Fresno State, and former president of the Diversity Club, now known as the LGBT Spectrum Club at Fresno City College. I'm a title holder with the Imperial Dove Corps, and I'll just stop there. The reason why I got involved was because I was incredibly lonely as a young person, an adolescent, going to school at Clovis Unified. I joke around saying I'm a survivor of Clovis Unified School District. And I remember there was nobody queer, nobody LGBT when I came out. And I came out pretty young. I came out at 12 years old initially, and I always joke around saying LGBT, that's the acronym. I came out as each letter till I got to the right one with a T. And so it was hard. It was hard, and I remember the loneliness and how that resonated with me and how that added to my depression, and I didn't want anybody else to feel that same way, and so I got involved, but that was a few years later. There wasn't any opportunities to be involved when I was in high school, but when I got to college and got involved in the diversity club, that all changed, and I was happy to be a part of the community changing for the better for our LGBT youth and actually all ages, because the seniors need our support as well. So volunteering has been very important to me. I thought about why I'm getting this award, and I think, well, because most jobs I've had, I never gotten paid for. But that doesn't mean that I didn't get any reward. The reward I got was seeing people alive, seeing our community believe there was hope for their future, believing that as queer people, we can be somebody in this society. We can be somebody. Queer people are in every single demographic, every racial, ethnic background, every sort of job, persons with disabilities, etc. There is us. In all of you, there is us in every group. And it's important that we recognize that this is more than politics. This is more than LGBT equality. This is a love movement. And it's important that everybody knows that they are love and they have purpose. And so that was kind of my thought when I got involved. I didn't want anybody to be lonely. I didn't want anybody to be suicidal like I was. I remember I heard a transgender woman say it one time. We were hanging out, and she said something, and when she said it, it just stuck with me because I realized in that moment that statement was the reason why I am involved and stay involved. She said that for people, she wants people to really see her as her. And I'm thinking about the transgender community and how often we go through our lives and are not seen as our authentic self. Can you imagine, if you're not transgender, to go through your whole life and never really be seen as yourself, so no one really knows you? I would like to see that change so that we all can know each other as our authentic selves, and nothing about our gender should be shameful. The transgender community is an extremely resilient community. We're talking about people that face housing disparities, homelessness, lack of employment, abuse, sexual abuse, rape, etc. This community rises above despite all that and is involved, and it's such a wonderful gift to see them involved in the community and so giving of their true and authentic selves. And to me, that is more important than the money, than whatever I can get. But also, because I do believe in practicality, it was my work with Trans Emotion that motivated me away from English, well, I should say, toward a different direction for that time being, which was social work. And I realized that I can do what I love doing for free for a living. I believe in my community. I believe in the Valley. I believe we can progress. And my thanks is to you all for saving my life. Because if I had not found community involvement, if I had not found college activities, etc., I probably would have been another statistic and ended my life because there was nothing for me. I didn't believe that I could get a job as a transgender person. I didn't believe that I could excel at all. I began my academic career in special education. And now I stand before you with a master's degree. I came from very humble beginnings. I didn't have very many friends. I used to spend my break time and lunchtime in the bathroom, hoping nobody would notice I was alone. And then now I have more friends that I can even count. And a lot of them are queer, some of them are powerful allies, and I don't know what I would do without you all. So thank you so much to my family, my family that is chosen and not chosen, family of choice, and my family that I would have chose anyway, but yeah, I came from them anyway. So thank you all. Community is what gave me purpose, and it also empowered me to explore my identity as it evolved. I first came out as a bisexual woman, then a lesbian, then a transgender straight man, then a transgender pansexual man, and now a transgender pansexual man who also identifies as gender fluid. And it's not that our community is so complicated, but even if we kind of are, and that's okay. But it's just the fact that when we learn about gender and sexual orientation, where it's very limited education, and we're given such basic terms that really don't give the true identity justice, and really don't give individuality to the individual who is identifying. And it's so important that as we go forth from here, we let people identify, self-identify, and people don't label each other, and everybody's able to explore their identity themselves and come out for themselves. And that's what I'd like to see, in more visibility in that way, authentic visibility. So I consider it a very big privilege to work in mental health. And I'd like to bring positive changes. I'd like to bring positive changes to that area. So I've come a long way from the loner in Clovis Unified, just sitting on the steps alone crying because they had no friends. But I have all the friends here in this room, and I'm happy. It is a privilege to work with you, for you, to help those transgender people that were in my place when I was younger. Thank you so very much for your time, and thank you for attending. What is it? Oh, that's not mine. It is? They're all mine?
Thank you, Zoyer, and what an inspiring and moving speech. Congratulations again. Our next award is for Outstanding Queer Activist Leader, and this award is presented to an individual who's regarded as an openly queer LGBTQ activist who can be defined as a person who campaigns to bring about political or social change. The recipient should have a deep commitment to human rights and social justice, with a proven ability to transform this commitment to effective action and have demonstrated leadership ability. And this year's recipient has done that and then some. It is Robin McGehee. Yeah, Robin unfortunately can't be here. Hopefully she's watching, so give her a really loud round of applause. Pretend she's coming up on stage right now. Robin is on the faculty of College of Sequoias in Visalia, but through the years she's done so much for the LGBTQ plus community. She's volunteered, among other things, the GSA Network, Fresno Real Pride. Robin also organized Meet in the Middle for Equality Rally, and also co-founded Get Equal, a national direct action organization. She's received many awards for her achievements. 2 times she served as a Grand Marshal for Fresno's Rainbow Pride Parade. And again, unfortunately, she cannot be here because of previous engagements with her family, but we wish she was, and we'll just reach out to her on the internet, right? Give her another round of applause. Congratulations, Robin. Before we move on to, we love you, Robin. That's what one of your fans over there said. Before we go to the next award, I just have a little message for all of our award recipients. Please stay until the end of the program because we need you on stage for a group photo. Okay? So Marsha, don't leave. I see you on the edge of your seat there. Don't do it in your superhero shoes. Our next award is for Ally of the Year, and this award honors a contribution made by an individual who openly identifies as an ally to the LGBTQ plus community. This recipient has made contributions to our community by being a voice that inspires other straight allies by educating about LGBTQ plus issues, as well as standing up and speaking out for LGBTQ plus people. And to present this award is David Budavang.
I'm back. So this part's gonna be pretty easy compared to earlier. So this person, her name is Jennifer Chow. She's a reproductive justice and gender attorney for the ACLU. And, I nominated Jennifer because she does a lot of the behind the scenes work, the work that we don't hear about, making sure that our young people, our LGBTQ young people have safe places in schools and that their rights are, upheld, and she does a lot of work locally here and also statewide as well, up and down Sacramento and LA, and I just wanted to kind of bring that to light. I'm not much of a talker, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Jennifer Chow, our QueerOut Ally of the Year.
Hi, everyone. So I think one of the things that defines a good ally is the ability to listen. So to Zoyer's point, my pronouns are she, her, hers. And the other thing that defines a good ally is knowing when to take a seat. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet so that I can hand the podium back to the LGBTQ folks on the stage. I have to admit, when Justin reached out and told me that I would be receiving this award, I was completely caught off guard. It's never really occurred to me that allyship is something that deserves special recognition. Frankly, it should be the least that we do. I am proud and humbled to be able to use my privilege as a cis, straight person to center and amplify the voices of the LGBTQ community through my work. This year, we fought for and won the adoption of the most inclusive, gender-expansive, state-level administrative guidance for health education in the country. And I have to say, this campaign has been one of the most humbling of my career as an advocate. And I want to say, before I leave the stage, that to all the queer folks who came to Sacramento and spoke in front of the State Board of Education and spoke truth to power, to the young folks from Fresno Barrios Unidos, Act for Women and Girls, and Visalia, GSA Network, who gave public comment in the face of hours of opposition. Thank you so much for your bravery and for showing me what true power looks like. So thank you so much for trusting me to be a co-conspirator. And thank you, David and Common Space, for this award.
Thank you, Jennifer, and congratulations again. And friends, it is that time of the night. We are going to give our last award of the night. We save the best for last. And I don't see a sparkly jacket. Oh, there he is. Okay. You know who I'm talking about. The next award, where's Peter? Forget where's Waldo, where's Peter? We're giving out the next award for QueerOut Lifetime Achievement. The QueerOut Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes an individual who is openly a member of the LGBTQ+ community. This recipient is actively leading and pioneering equality, diversity, and advancement by making progress their lifetime mission. The recipient also demonstrated working with all ages of the community, implemented programs of inclusivity, and maintained active involvement in current events and issues, taking place here in the Central Valley. And to present this year's award is Jared Lindo. So Peter, hang tight. Jared, where are you? There you are.
So Jared Lindo unfortunately couldn't make it today, so you have me instead. Oh, you're fine. Whew, it's nervous when you have to present someone this big. First of all, someone get this man a tissue because he's gonna need one. Oh, he already came prepared. If you know Peter, you know he's a big crybaby. 2 weekends ago, I drove into Fresno to watch my friend receive the 2019 Judge Armando Rodriguez Legacy Award at Artes Americas. Today, I drove into Fresno to watch that same friend receive tonight's 2019 Lifetime Achievement Award. God damn it, Peter, save some for the rest of us. What an honor, privilege it is to introduce such a special person in my life, in our lives. A Lifetime Achievement Award implies a lifetime of service, a commitment to one's community. When I first came to Fresno State's campus 6 years ago, I never would have imagined I would have met such a wonderful person, such a big influence on my life. It was actually Zoya Zindel, Curtis Ortega, and Catherine Coppola who introduced me to Peter Robertson, and we met him, and he was such a big personality. He has all these little phrases that he uses all the time, like, oh, honey. Or my favorite one that I'll mention more, if not you, then who? I was gonna go and make a laundry list of all the things Peter has done over the years since he's been in Fresno, but we've been here all night. But Peter, your legacy is so much more than what you believe it to be. Your legacy is every person that walked on Fresno State's campus and found a sense of community and belonging in United Student Pride. It is every queer person that walked into the Tower Theater in September, looked up at the big screen, and said, hey, that's me. It is every queer person who walks across the graduation stage in May wearing a rainbow stool to tell the world I exist. It is every person who you helped come out of the closet and live in their true skin each and every day. It is a little boy growing up on a chicken ranch on the outskirts of Kerman, California, who you inspire to embrace their identity and to create change in the community. Peter, you are my hero. And I think I speak for everyone here when I say you are a true agent of change. In an interview with Central Valley Magazine, you said success is being able to sleep at night and answer yes to the question, did you make a positive difference in life? Well, Peter, I hope you sleep well tonight, knowing that the answer to that question for you is yes. So I would like everybody to join me in welcoming to the podium our friend and Common Space's 2019 Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Peter Robertson.
I might cry a little bit. Okay. Thank you, Miguel. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Right. Right away, girl. David Stone has been cutting my hair for 30 years, and he gave me a compliment tonight on my hair, so I did something right. Okay, we're here, we're queer, we're having a gala. I'm honored and humbled to be standing before you this evening at the QueerOut Awards Gala. Congratulations to all the awardees, as well to their family members and allies. Thank you to everyone for being here tonight to celebrate our rainbow community. I want to thank Common Space, its donors, volunteers, leadership team led by Justin Kamamoto and Matt Broughton. The summer of 1984, I moved to Fresno for love and eventually found myself loving Fresno too. The person that brought me to Fresno 35 years ago is still by my side tonight. So I'm dedicating this award to my spouse, Victor Craw. Preparing for tonight's comments has brought back some memories that our community has faced, memories I want to share with you, some happy, some sad, some a little emotional. 3 people tonight were with me 25, 30 years ago that are here tonight. Albert Cano, Francine Oputa, and Joy Benavides. This recollection process has reminded me of the concept of bridge leaders. Bridge leaders are defined as equity advocates for social justice within disenfranchised and marginalized communities. Bridge leaders also unselfishly serve as a bridge for others. 32 years ago this fall, I entered Fresno State, a transfer student from Fresno City College, with an associate's degree in my back pocket from Skagit Valley College in Mount Vernon, Washington. That fall semester of 1987, there was a small advertisement in the Daily Collegian, the student newspaper, with details for an organizational meeting to establish a new student club, the Gay Lesbian Student Alliance, which today is known as United Student Pride. I was thrilled. I couldn't wait for that meeting. I remember running up the travertine stairs to the 3rd floor of the University Student Union. The room was packed with 100 people in attendance. Student Affairs had required that 14 students provide their name, phone number, and student ID on a new student club form, which was being passed around on a clipboard. As I was at the back of the room, I thought to myself, this should be easy. There's so many people here. But when the form got to me, I signed on as number 11. Although there were more than 100 people there, it was a challenge for us to sign a document and be public about establishing a club. In fact, it would take another week to get the remaining signatures that were needed. We quickly realized that getting this club up and running would be more challenging than we had expected. So I want to thank and salute the other 13 founding members of GLSA. Angela Welton, Barbara Cooper, Daniel McSwain, Frank Kwan, Ivan Tobias Vincent, Jank Tagawa, John Diaz, Junko Kunitaki, Linda Fisher, Marcia McIntosh, Shirley Bruce, Sigrid Hawkins, and Todd Mathieson. Back then, even they were bridge leaders. I need to thank our advisor, Sarah DeWorkin. She mentored us, led us, and she was a bridge leader too. Even with adversity, our little student group of students had a magical and memorable time at Fresno State. Some members thought we were too political, other members thought we were too social, some members were there to hook up. Not me. One of our goals was to expand the awareness for the need of equal rights for all in education, in housing, and employment. We would meet daily for lunch at a small wooden booth in the free speech area. Students would harass and taunt us. They would walk by and call us names, faggots, queers, sinners, AIDS spreaders. Some would scream Bible verses at us. Others would even spit on us. That Thanksgiving weekend of 1987, our booth was burned to the ground, a victim of arson. No one was ever convicted. Our little club became smaller, but now we were angry. Protests and rallies were held, some supporting us, some against us. Even 2 anti-GLSA groups started. One was straight, another one gay. So we built a new monumental booth designed in the postmodern style by Arliss Rossiter. It was 8 feet high, 8 feet wide, 8 feet deep, but 64 square feet of real estate in the free speech area. And we painted it pink and lavender. It was stunning. So I want to thank Arliss for being a bridge leader. Our new booth got tagged several times. It got tipped over, so a trip to Orchard Supply, hardware with Dirk Hubel, and we repainted it bright fuchsia and day-glow purple. It was really fabulous. And we finally got left alone. So thank you, Dirk, for being a bridge leader. The following year, the fall of 1988, found GLSA in the midst of participating in the first National Coming Out Day and promoting awareness regarding HIV/AIDS that was met with hostile protests. GLSA asked students and allies to show their support on October 11th by wearing pink and lavender, while Barry Grove, in an opinion editorial article in the Daily Collegian, publicly asked that, quote, homosexuals stay in the privacy of their own home, and for students to, quote, wear black armbands, since being gay and lesbian means, quote, death of a way of life. The following spring semester, 1989, was pivotal. We hosted an LGBT student conference on President's Day weekend. Speakers included Cleve Jones and Zeke Ziedler, both bridge leaders then and still to this day. That Saturday afternoon, 5 members of the Fresno Clavern of the Ku Klux Klan made an appearance driving around campus while wearing white hoods and standing on the back of a flatbed pickup truck. The conference was placed on lockdown. No one was allowed to enter, no one was allowed to leave, and we sat in silence waiting. Some of us crying, some of us praying, but all of us frightened with the unknown of what might happen. However, later that night, we celebrated and embraced our community's diversity and held a drag show in the Satellite Student Union that attracted 650 people. So these are just a few of the challenges from our club's first 2 years, and it helps put in perspective the importance of remembering where our community has been, celebrating where we are, and hoping for a better tomorrow. Another group that was established at Fresno State includes Fresno Real Pride. In 1990, the members of the GLSA established the annual film festival that recently celebrated its 30th year. That leadership team included co-founder Ken Freeze, with GLSA officers Brad Seipel, Matt Cunningham, Dirk Hubel, Manoj Mehta, Karen Thomas, plus advisors Sari DeWorkin and Karen Horwitz. I want to thank all of them for being bridge leaders in 1990. So finally, a philanthropic project that's very near and dear to my heart is the Bulldog Pride Fund. It's an endowed scholarship that was established about 15 years ago with 2 $50 donations. I need to thank Letitia Reyna Cano, who's sitting at table 13, because she was the first donor. I was the second. Sometimes you need nudging and sometimes you need a kick, and I think she kicked. It worked. So the Bulldog Pride Fund has one simple mission: to support students attending Fresno State. And today we've raised more than $555,000 for our endowment, and we provided 66 scholarships valued at $127,000. So there's some Bulldog Pride Fund alumni and scholars here tonight. I just want to introduce you to them. Adrian Quintero, Belle Vang, Blake Zante, Daniel Gonzalez, Dasha Calhoun, Justin Kawamoto, and Miguel Bueno. must add, if you're interested in making a tax-deductible donation, I'm sitting at table 12. And this Thursday, we're participating in Day of Giving. So between 12:01 a.m. and 11:59 p.m., I welcome you to make a gift or two. Thank you, Kareem. Kareem's coordinating that. So in closing, above the doorway of a conference room of the Fresno City College Library, which used to be the original Fresno State College Library, are 4 Latin words etched in stone. Bonus intra, melior exe. Bonus intra translates to English as enter good, and melior exe translates exit better. That's what a library does for you. It's what higher education does for so many of us. You enter good, but you exit better. But this is what bridge leaders do for our community. We enter our good community, but we exit making our community better. By being present tonight, all of you are bridge leaders. There's 450 people here tonight, and I want to thank you for being bridge leaders in our community too. We're here, and we're queer, and we're having a gala. Thank you.
A very, very deserving award when I think of Peter, major trailblazer. Thank you again for sharing and for all that you've done for our community. And thank you all for sticking around. That is it for our awards, but before we go, we're going to bring back Justin and Matt on stage. They have a couple more remarks, some stories to share with y'all.
To whoever added the little step right here, thank you. I was a little off a Dayquil earlier this evening, so it was not 100% par. So I did write something while I was sitting in the back, reviving myself from these high heels, which are fabulously amazing, but hurt so much. So I did want to write a little something just to kind of share a little bit about who Common Space is and the demographic that we really serve. So to close tonight's event, or to begin closing, I'd like to tell you a story of the impact that Common Space has had on someone. This one is very similar to the over 15,000 people that we've welcomed through our doors since opening 3 years ago at a small, tiny, refurbished medical office off of Tulare Street. This story is about a young man who had his share of life's challenges. Starting in his teens, he had trouble coming out in a multicultural family, especially during the time of Proposition 8. And little by little saw little glimmers of hope in this little place that we call home as Fresno. Because awesomeness really does happen here in Fresno. But what people don't realize is that our struggles for truth are almost all of the same throughout our Central Valley. This young man deals with anxiety and depression, but functions at a high rate to mask emotions and go on every single day like it's okay. He's had thoughts of suicide multiple times throughout his life, and sometimes the journey is still very dark. The bullying that he and many of our young people continue to face from peers and other people in our community ring true to the different climates and silos that have been placed on our communities. He's never really found belonging, never really had that many friends, and some called him a loner, but always kind of felt like a little freak in the different identities that he's had. He found dark places when being young and naive got taken advantage of, from different sexual exploitations to violence to abuse, and almost all of those coerced into scary times that is a rampant drug and alcohol abuse that so many of us who do this advocacy work know about. That young man, ironically, is me, and standing here today in Fresno 11 years after moving here on November 1st of 2008, has seen that Fresno has some amazing features of what has contributed to the person that I am today. In fact, our all-volunteer team who you've seen running around wearing these wonderful walkie-talkies that Matt has been yelling at us to do things, at more than one point, yes, But we've seen that young people, when we come together, can really do some really amazing things. As we look forward to what the future has in store, we really think of one thing cohesively and collectively, is that empathy and understanding is really where our future needs to be. I would like to see the hands raised of almost every young person here that is under 30, and to really look at their faces of diversity who are going to pioneer the next 50 years of change in not only what is our LGBT plus community, but our whole region as a whole. We must understand that we probably do not have the same life experiences as anybody else, but we're willing to learn and create more awesomeness. As we look forward to the future, and as I look into my own future of what is next in Fresno, mine is slowly coming to an end as I kind of take some time away to focus on personal and physical health, get married. You probably got checked in by my fiance who was wearing the black suit that I told him today he had to wear. And that most people don't know that after our inaugural gala is where I got engaged at the Radisson Hotel after all was done with our team all present. So the future is definitely bright, and this all comes just at a time when our community is going through a lot of different healings and a lot of collective growth, and that we must remember that our past, present, and future is one of all together. So let's create an amazing future for all of us to live, love, and enjoy by. I really hope that you got inspired tonight and learned so much about the different pioneers in our community, and that we have a long ways to go. But as Peter Robertson always says, we're here, we're queer, and I'd like to add that look at what's happening today. Have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna pass it over to Matt, and he can kind of end it too.
And before I invite Christine up here to do the official close, again, just to reiterate what Justin said, and like I said earlier, every table from Marsha P. Johnson all the way to Billy Porter at the very last table and everywhere in between, from Marsha tonight and Peter and everywhere in between, the award recipients, our community, the LGBTQ plus community, is together in this room, and that's how it should be. We are one, and it shows in Fresno tonight. For the second year in a row, we can all come together and be here tonight. So I'm gonna invite Christine up here to do the closing. I hope you all enjoyed the evening, and thank you so much for coming out tonight. We appreciate your support so much. Thank you.
All right, this is the official goodbye. I'm just going to say thank you again on behalf of Common Space, even though they already did it. Thank you all for being here, for being amazing guests, and for your support. It's been an amazing and an enlightening evening to hear all the amazing stories of the things that you have done for our community. But as we all know, there's so much more to be done. Marsha, you inspired me. I look forward to hanging out with you more and maybe taking your superhero cape. Maybe I'll be Marsha for Halloween next year. But congratulations to all of our recipients, and have a great rest of your evening. Thank you again for being here and for your support. Take care.